In this video, we are going to be looking at the glossary module. The glossary module works really well to work on vocabulary, adding vocabulary to the students. It also gives you the opportunity to have the words defined within your course. So in other words, a word that you put in your glossary can be linked to your course, and then anytime that word comes up in your course, there's a link back to the glossary. So we're going to talk about glossary and how to set up a glossary. I already have my editing on. I'm going to go down and click on Add a Resource. I am going to click on Glossary. And again, you have your description. It gives you different ideas of how you could use your glossary, those kind of things. This is a good point here where it says a getting to know you space when new students add their name and personal details. So don't think outside the box. Think of other ways in which you can use that glossary. So it gives you several choices or several ideas besides just a definition place. So we're going to go ahead and click on Add. Once your glossary comes up, you're going to give it a name, and I'm just going to give this test glossary just to get it started. And I'm going to say this is a glossary for Module 5 in my description. And again, you can have it display on your course. In other words, the definition on your course. You could talk about being global. I do want to point out the glossary type. And you have a main glossary, which is a glossary that goes for your entire course. You can import from your secondary glossary into your main glossary. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this as far as make it work inside your course. So this is going to be a secondary glossary because it is for just Module 5. Our entries are choices approved by default, or you can choose to not automatically have them approved, but then you're going to have to go in and approve them every time. Always allow editing, which I leave this on no, depending on what I'm using this for. In this case, I would be using this for students to put words into the glossary, in other words, kind of as a check on vocabulary. So I'm going to say no because I want to see what they have. I let mine duplicate entries. That's a choice you can make. If a chapter has a whole bunch of words where you have each kid is supposed to define, or each student is supposed to define 10 words, then you could check this as no. In my case, that's not the case. So I'm going to say yes, I'm going to allow them to duplicate entries. Allow comments, I'm going to say no, and automatically link words, glossary entries back to words inside your course. If you check this on yes, you need to be sure before they take a test or quiz that you put this back to no, just so that they don't have that. Your appearance, simple dictionary style, encyclopedia, so there's a lot of different choices. Again, if you click on the question mark, it's going to give you a little bit more explanation about how each one of these differ. I usually leave mine on simple dictionary style. I usually show 10 per page, alphabetic, all of those kind of things I leave. You can actually give a grade inside of this. So again, this would be for Module 5. And you can say, do you want it summed? Do you want it? So you can actually put a point value. So every time a student enters a definition, it would add up to a certain amount of points. And then you would say, so if I did this as sum of entry, just like I would on my, like I did on my forum post, and then I could go ahead and put this at 20 points. And so every time somebody entered, I would give them 2 points. If they did 10 words, it would add up to the 20 points. Activity completion, again, you have several choices. So if you put this down to complete, mark as complete when conditions are met, then you would choose student must view the activity, student must receive a grade, or student must create entries. And so I would do the create entries, and I would just say they have to create 10 entries. And then I would save and return to course. Once I save and return to course, I now have my test glossary. Again, it looks a little bit different, the icon. So I click on my test glossary and it comes up and I'm ready to enter words. To enter words, you click on, and the student would be able, this is a secondary glossary, so the student would be able to put words into this. I add a new entry, and it's going to come up, and I'm going to put a word definition. I would put the word, whatever word it was. So we'll say cat, and we have one cat, which this would be your definition. You can attach pictures to it, any of those kind of things that you want to attach to it. This entry should be automatically linked, yes or no, and I would save changes. Once I save changes, it now appears in alphabetical order as I add more and more words. You can set up categories for students to put their words into categories. You can browse these by dates, so you can say see who entered the words first. I can also browse by author, so it's going to show me exactly who entered which word and when they entered it.